I need to go to Michael's. Yes, we're excited. I only need to get one skein of yarn. Skein for a commission that I'm doing. Just a little pink hat. And I realize I don't have pink, so one skein of yarn. It's all I need. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, the challenge is to only leave Michael's with one thing.
Right.
I think we can do it. I think it's possible. I think it's unlikely, but that's okay. Only bringing this bag, and I need to run other errands as well, and I don't want to get another bag. Truly am trying to limit myself.
So what is it? Who's lying here?
It's fine. Okay, let's go. Acrylic. Pink acrylic. I have this one already, and I do quite like it. It's very soft. So I'll probably go with this, and it's the last one. I'm gonna get this one. So I obviously failed. I got 3 skeins of yarn, skeins, because fuck it, I had a coupon, so whatever. It was literally less than $20. I had to get far enough away to say this, but there was such an ominous vibe in that Michael's. I had to get out immediately. I could barely film in there. I go there a lot and I've never felt like that. Like, it was so busy, everyone was acting so weird, it was just ominous. 2 loops and threads, soft classic acrylic yarns. This one's in mushroom, this one is navy. I intend to make another pillowcase. Some Karen Simply Soft in soft pink. And I got beef for dinner.
Let's take a 3-hour road trip to buy a Karen anniversary cake. Little bit of background, I bought my first Karen anniversary cake a couple weeks ago when I was in Vegas, but then I tried to fit it in my luggage and it would just not work, so I had to return it. Now I'm back in Virginia, but the only place that has it within 100 miles is an hour and a half away, so let's go. It's literally an hour and 44 minutes now. Okay, it's been almost a full 2 hours and I finally made it. I have never been to this Michael's before though, so I'm pretty excited. I also placed a pickup order for the yarn, so we're gonna do some shopping first. And I'm just grabbing a basket today because I've done way too much yarn shopping this week. Oh my gosh, wait, they have so many. I thought that they were completely out of every other color. I'm not seeing the other color that I really wanted, which was kind of like the pinky purpley one. So I don't know, we might pass. Okay, I did just buy this orange the other day to finish my pumpkin, but I know I'm gonna wanna make more, so we're gonna grab one more. Ooh, okay, but how cute is this? I've really been wanting to make like a fall themed sweater, and I feel like these are the perfect colors. This is the Karen Cinnamon Swirl Cakes in the color Heat Wave. I have been trying to work with a lot more natural fibers over acrylic lately, so I don't know. Okay, yeah, we're gonna stay over today, especially because I have so many projects I have to work on, but let's go get our anniversary cake. I have a pickup order. What's the last name? Garcia. Thank you. Look how freaking cute this is. His name is Boo Boo. I got it. Let's open it. I've been wanting this one literally since I saw it online, so I'm so happy. I've just paid for my yarn, but actually we're gonna go back for one of the other anniversary cakes. So this is the blue one, and we're gonna take her home too. I definitely feel like the workers are gonna look at me crazy. Okay, yeah, call me crazy if you want, but this was so worth it. Let me teach y'all how to crochet my Scott beanie. This beanie has absolutely no extra fabric at the top, so then when you wear it, it looks like this. For this project, you can use anywhere between a weight 3 to a weight 5 yarn without having to change the pattern. For today's beanie, I am going to be using a weight 4 cotton and a 4mm crochet hook. And if you did need a more in-depth tutorial, I did just post one on my YouTube. We are going to start by crocheting a loose chain that can reach from the crown of our head to our top lip. And here is what my chain is looking like. And skipping our first chain, we are going to be working half double crochets until we reach our final 8 stitches. Alright, and here is what that looks like. For the final 8 stitches, we are going to be working 4 single crochets and then 4 slip stitches. And then we're going to always chain 1 at the end of our row. And this is what our first row looks like. And row 2 is going to be the same thing, but back loop only. So 4 back loop only slip stitches, and then 4 back loop only single crochets, and then the rest back loop only half doubles. And this is what row 2 is looking like. Now we're going to start our 4 row repeat. So for row 1, we're going to work back loop only half doubles until we get to our final 8 stitches. And once we hit our final 8, we're going to work 4 back loop only singles. And this is how we should be looking after our row 1 repeat. For row 2, we're going to work the same thing back, 4 back loop only singles followed by back loop only half doubles. And here is what our row 2 repeat should look like. Now for row 3, we're going to do the same thing as row 1, back loop only half doubles followed by back loop only singles. And once we finish those back loop only singles, we're going to work back loop only slip stitches and do these slip stitches down here. And then here is what row 3 looks like finished. And then for row 4, same thing going back, 4 back loop only slip stitches, 4 back loop only singles, and then back loop only half doubles. And this is what we should be looking like after the row 4 repeat. And we're going to continue the repeat rows until the beanie can comfortably fit around our head. Alright, and this is what the beanie should look like after we finish our repeat rows. Now we're going to cut a tail that is 3 times the height of our beanie, and then we're going to secure our yarn. And my tail is about 36 inches. Now we're just folding our beanie in half, and using a darning needle, we are going to sew up the sides of our beanie. And this is what the seam should look like after we sew it together. Now still using the same tail, we're going to close up this hole at the top of the beanie. Now we're just closing the hole at the top by using a reverse magic circle. And after weaving in our ends, this is what the top of our beanie should look like. And here is what our beanie should look like on.
I've got not 1, not 2. Oh no, it is 2. I've got 2.
Wash my belly. Yay. Clean my belly. Clean my belly.
Here is all the yarn I bought recently and all the projects that I plan on making with these yarns. First, I'm going to go through the yarns I got from Hobby Lobby. First, I picked up 2 skeins of this yarn bee yarn, and with this yarn, I plan on remaking a top that I made previously. I don't remember the name of the pattern, but I will link it. My problem the first time was I used too thick of a yarn, so I'm using a thinner yarn this time, and I'm hoping that this does what I need it to do. Then I picked up 3 balls of this ethereal eyelash yarn from Yarn Bee. My original plan with this was to make some ruffle shorts for Halloween, but we're in Christmas now and Halloween is over, so I don't know if I'm going to end up returning this or using it for another project, but this yarn is so beautiful and soft. I really want to figure out what I want to make with this, so give me some ideas. Then I have a bunch of these Baby Bee Sweet Delight yarn. Originally, I was going to make a sweater and mix it with some mohair yarn, but then I decided to just make a poncho, so I'm actually going to return a lot of these because I only ended up using 1 skein for the poncho. Then I picked up more of these Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek DK yarns, and I'm using this to make an alpine stitch sweater. I already have 3 skeins going because I'm combining all the yarn with a mohair that you'll see soon. So I'm really interested to see how that ends up turning out, but I probably have to buy more, but we'll see. Then a classic, I just picked up this yarn for a custom order. I'm making a froggy keychain with the dress this color. And those are all of my in-person purchases. Now let's get to my online orders. First from Hobby, I picked up this alpaca blaze yarn, and this is the yarn I'm using with this yarn, and I'm combining it to make my sweater, and it's turning out so cute. I purchased so many because I didn't know how much I would end up needing, but I'm literally halfway done with the sweater and I haven't even finished 1 ball, so I'm gonna have a lot extra. Then I picked up 4 of these Friends ribbon yarn from Hobby to make a dusk bag. I am so excited about this project. I've been eyeing that pattern for the longest, and I feel like this color is giving fall and Christmas and just everything perfect. And then my last online purchase from Linday Hobby. This is my first time ordering from Linday Hobby, and I am pleasantly surprised. They were having a super big October sale when I purchased this yarn, so I went ahead and just got all the yarn I need for a knitting project. If you guys knit or know anything about knitting, you guys know that Drops Air is like the most popular yarn to knit with. So I picked up this very beautiful Drops Air yarn. Look how gorgeous this denim blue is. I'm so excited to see how this looks. By the way, I'm going to be making a cardigan, but sort of like a slouchy cardigan. I'm so excited. And not only am I going to be using this, I'm going to be mixing it with this kids silk yarn to kind of give off like a fluffy effect. And I feel like these 2 yarns knit together is going to be so beautiful. So I'm hoping what I'm imagining up here, I'm able to physically recreate, because I love this yarn so much. It is so soft and beautiful, and I'm really excited to knit with this. So yeah, those are all of my recent yarn purchases and projects that I will be making. Let me know what you guys are currently crocheting, and if you have any ideas for what I should make next.
It is 8 p.m. and I'm in the middle of working on a project, but I just saw that the Karen Groovy Cloud Cakes are in stores, so let's go see if we can find them. Alright, and we made it to Michael's. And I'm not getting a cart because I need to discourage myself from getting too much yarn. Oh my gosh, you guys, look! It is the anniversary cakes. Oh my gosh, I've been wanting to see that one in store. Hold on. Okay, this one is so pretty. I've been wanting to see the pastel rainbow color in person. This one is in the color Tropical Breeze, and it is 1,000 grams. That is huge. I also really like this cake. I feel like this is a more bolder version of that one. And this one is in the color Beach Towel. I have been talking about making a star blanket for a long time, and I haven't started on it yet, so maybe that's what we'll use. But we're gonna wait a bit and keep looking around. Oh, and for the Groovy Cloud Cakes, I do really want to find the color Maple Breeze, I think, and Ice Pop. Okay, I've just made it to the Karen Cake section, and I'm not seeing any of the Groovy Cloud Cakes yet. They do have these skinny cakes though, and I am obsessed with this blue. This one is in the color Blueberry Ice, and I think it would just make such a pretty sweater. They do have these cloud cakes though, which I've seen before. I actually just bought this one last week. I do really like this one. It's just giving sunset. Okay, I've looked literally everywhere and I can't find them, so I'm gonna ask somebody. All right, y'all, so I just asked and they said that they haven't received them yet, so I'll check back another day. I've been getting a lot of questions about how I crocheted my cat beanie, so let me teach you. And then you can pick any hook you like for your yarn. Today I'm going in with a 4.5 millimeter. To start off, we're gonna measure around the largest part of our head. So for me, that is about 22 inches. Now we're going to loosely chain any number of chains that fits half of that measurement. So here's what my chain looks like. It is 11 inches. Now for our first row, we're gonna work double crochets until we reach our final chain. And I'm gonna leave a stitch marker in our first chain for later. Now when we reach that final chain, we're gonna place 3 double crochets into that one chain. And then we're gonna turn our work upside down to start working in the round. From here, we're gonna work double crochets under our chains until we reach our stitch marker. And now with the stitch marker, we're gonna place 2 double crochets into that chain and then slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round. And here is what our first round should look like. And to start our next round, we're going to chain 1 and then turn our work. And then we're gonna work regular half double crochets until we get all the way back around to our first stitch. And for the end of every round, we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch and then chain 1. And this is what round 2 should look like. Now we're starting our color change here, so we are going to cut and fasten our yarn. And to add in our second color, we are going to create a slip knot and add it into our final half double crochet using a chain. And again, turning our work and creating 1 round of doubles. And here's what round 3 looks like. And now we're just working another row of half doubles. And here's what that looks like. And we're gonna repeat these color changes until the beanie is at a height we like. And here's what my beanie is looking like. I did a total of 24 rounds. And after weaving in all my ends, this is what the final beanie looks like on.
If you're learning to crochet, a headband is one of the easiest things that you can start with. I'm not exaggerating. I made this in 30 minutes. It'll be really fast, real easy. Here's how I did it. First, you need to pick your yarn and the crochet hook that you're gonna need for that yarn. I'm gonna make one with this real chunky yarn because 1, it's gonna be warm, and 2, it's gonna build up really fast because it's so thick, it won't take long to make. For the sake of the video, I'm going to be showing you in this thin yarn because it's a lot easier to see the stitches. Word of advice, if you use the big chunky yarn, this yarn is really hard to start with if you're new to crochet because the stitches really blend together and it's hard to see the holes of where you need to go under the stitches. So I would recommend, if you're going to use a chunky yarn, to not use a fuzzy one. Use one that is a little bit more separated like the smaller yarn will be. Picture this exact yarn, but fatter. You can see it a lot more clearly than you can see this. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have a yarn that still has the tag on it, it will show you on there what size hook that you need. I would usually recommend going down 1 millimeter size because that will keep your piece a lot more tight and you won't feel the cold breeze coming through the stitches. For the yarn I'm showing you with, I'm going to use a 5 millimeter crochet hook. To start our project, we're going to need a slip knot. So that's going to be making a loop. And then like you're going to make a knot, you'll pull this through. Just don't pull this strand all the way through. Okay, slip your hook in there and then you can pull this tight. Now we're going to chain the amount that we want our headband to be thick. So thick on our head, not all the way around, okay? So to chain, you're going to go under your yarn, hook it, pull through that loop. Under your yarn, hook, pull through the loop. Under, hook, pull through the loop. Do this as wide as you want your headband to be. Here's an example of how different yarn will affect your project. This is 7 stitches, this is 7 stitches. So if you want it to be thick, a fuzzy yarn is a lot more fun. However, you can see that it's a little bit harder to see these stitches compared to these ones. So that's why I'm showing you with this. Once you have the width of your headband, it's time to start your first row. So you can do this 2 ways. You can either go into these top loops or you can go into the back bumps. I prefer back bumps. It really doesn't matter. Pick which one you want to do. If you're doing back bumps, you're going to insert your hook into that bump, pull the yarn through. So you have 2 loops on your hook and then pull through both of those loops. That's a single crochet stitch. Now we're going to do it again into that back bump, yarn over, pull through. You've got 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both loops. Show you one more time. Through the back bump, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Do this all the way back your chain. Here I'm at the end with my chunky one, and here I'm at the end with the one I'm showing you. Once we get to the end, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So you're always working to the left. Now, instead of going into a single loop, we're going to go into this whole stitch. So if you look from the top, there's those 2 ribs. We're going to be going into those holes underneath them. So you're going to insert your hook into that stitch. You'll have 2 on top. Yarn over, pull through. Same thing. Yarn over, pull through 2. We'll go into that second stitch under those 2 top little wing looking things. Yarn over, pull through, 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? And we're going to do that all the way back. This is literally the whole headband. This one stitch. So now you're going to do that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until the headband reaches all the way around your head. Once you have a length that will fit around your head, all you need to do is connect them and you're done. I'm going to show you how I'm going to connect the chunky one because I did not do it with the green. We're going to do a slip stitch to close these. So you're going to line them up. You'll go through, just like you were before when you were doing these rows, through that top stitch and then through the top on the other side. Now the difference with this stitch is you're going to yarn over and pull through, and then that front loop is also going to come through the back one. So you won't yarn over again and pull through both of them. Okay? So again, go in that second stitch, go in the second stitch, what's lined up on the other side, yarn over, pull through, then you'll have 2, and then continue to pull through that second loop. So the third stitch, sometimes I don't do these right. I just do whatever lines up. Pull through that stitch. Once you get to the end, you'll yarn over and pull through, pull this out a little bit, cut it, and then just pull that through, and that will make a knot. And then you can either just cut this or you can take these ends and weave them back through. Weaving it through tends to make it look a little bit neater because otherwise you just have little nubs off here. So to do that, I would just stick my hook through and then yank them back in. Stick it in, yank them back out. I'm going to flip mine because I think the inside looks a little bit smoother connected than the outside does. And there's your headband.
Red yarn for this peppermint tote bag that I'm making, but the only store that has it in stock is an hour away, so let's go. All right, y'all, and right now we're looking at about an hour and 5-minute drive. It's officially been an hour and 20 minutes, but we finally made it to Michael's. Let's go in. And this one's the one in Chesapeake, Virginia. I love this one. Okay, and we are here for the red yarn, but I do love their yarn selection, so let's go look. Okay, and they have so much big twist yarn here still, and I really like the black version of the twinkle yarn. I've already used the red and the white, but I can't think of a project to make with it, so we're gonna pass. Ooh, they also have the Karen mosaic yarn. I have been wanting this yarn for such a long time. My favorite one is either this pink one or this light gray and yellow one. I honestly don't really know what I'd make with it, but it is so cute. Okay, we're gonna add 2 of them to my cart for now. But I've gone down 2 aisles of yarn so far and I've not seen what I need, so I am getting a little bit nervous. They do have the Burnett Softy Baby yarn here though. I do really wish that they had the Burnett Softy Baby Cotton though. That one is amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys, yes, they have what I need. Okay, let's take them. In the cart these ones go. Okay, I'm so happy I found those, but let's keep shopping. Oh my gosh, you're joking? Do you see that? This thing is so freaking cute. This yarn is the Burnett Blanket Patchwork. Those colors are so cute. If you know me, you know I'm a sucker for brown yarn, and I have been wanting to make a blanket lately. They do have 4 of them too, which is definitely gonna be enough. We're gonna leave it for now, but I may come back to it. Okay, I just found more big twist here too. This is a lot. Okay, and the only other thing that's been catching my eye is this beautiful pink yarn. And this one is the Loops and Thread Posh Pearl in the color Raspberry. I've been thinking about this color for a couple of months now, but I have nothing to make with it, so we're gonna leave it. And as for the brown yarn, I have so many projects going on, so we're also gonna leave it. We did find what we needed though, so definitely a successful yarn trip.